Most people think productivity is about pushing harder. But in Japan, productivity is often about removing friction, doing less, but doing it better. That's why today we're exploring 8 Japanese habits that quietly help people stay focused, consistent, and effective without burning out. Some of these habits may sound simple, almost too simple. But by the end of this video, you might realize why simplicity is exactly what makes them work. Let's start with how the day begins. In Japan, many people practice something called asa-katsu, which simply means doing a meaningful activity early in the morning, before work, before school, before the noise of the day begins. This isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. or forcing productivity. It's about using the calmest part of the day for yourself, reading a few pages, stretching, writing, even walking quietly. Science backs this up. Studies on circadian rhythm show that focus and self-control are strongest earlier in the day, before decision fatigue sets in. That's why a small win in the morning often creates momentum that lasts for hours. It's like steering a ship. If you set the direction early, the rest of the journey becomes easier. Another powerful habit is something you rarely hear talked about: clear separation between activities. In Japanese culture, there's strong respect for boundaries. Work time is work time, rest time is rest time. Mixing everything together creates mental noise. Psychologists call this task residue. When you jump between tasks or roles without closure, part of your mind stays stuck on the previous thing. That's why you feel tired even when you haven't done much. Clear transitions. Finishing one task fully before starting another free up mental energy. It's like closing open tabs in your browser. Suddenly, everything runs faster. Now, here's something that surprises many people. In Japan, productivity relies less on motivation and more on routine. There's a habit called asa-katsu, which focuses on maintaining consistent systems and patterns. The idea is simple. If you rely on motivation, you'll be inconsistent. If you rely on routine, you'll show up even on low-energy days. Neuroscience shows that habits reduce the brain's decision-making load. Fewer decisions mean more energy for meaningful work. Think of routines like train tracks. You don't need to figure out where to go each day, you just stay on course. Like the video and subscribe for more. But routines alone aren't enough. You also need space. This brings us to one of the most subtle but powerful ideas in Japanese culture, the intentional use of pauses. In music, conversation, and daily life, silence and space are respected. Productivity cultures often treat pauses as weakness, but psychology shows the opposite. Short pauses improve memory, creativity, and problem-solving. Without pauses, the mind becomes overloaded, like a sentence with no punctuation. Sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is stop for a moment and let your brain breathe. Productivity isn't only personal, it's social too. In Japan, there's a strong habit of active listening, often shown through small cues like nodding or brief acknowledgments. These seem minor, but they dramatically reduce misunderstanding. Studies in workplace communication show that poor listening leads to repeated explanations, mistakes, and wasted time. Good listening saves time later. When people feel understood, work moves faster and with less friction. Another communication habit is known as hurensu, which stands for reporting, informing, and consulting. Instead of hiding problems or waiting until things go wrong, people share progress early and ask for input before issues grow. Project management research confirms this. Early communication prevents delays and reduces stress. It's like fixing a small crack before it becomes a broken wall. Now let's talk about speed. In Japanese culture, there's a strong value placed on TND, doing things carefully and thoughtfully. This doesn't mean slow, it means deliberate. Rushing creates mistakes. Mistakes create rework, and rework doubles effort. Studies show that careful, focused work actually saves time in the long run. It's like sharpening a knife before cutting. The preparation makes everything smoother. Finally, there's a habit that protects productivity in the long term, appreciating the ordinary. There's a concept that values finding contentment in normal, everyday life, not constantly chasing excitement or comparison. Psychological research shows that constant dissatisfaction drains motivation and increases burnout. When ordinary days feel acceptable, even meaningful, consistency becomes easier. You stop needing constant stimulation. You start finishing what you begin. So when you look at these habits together, a pattern emerges. Productivity here isn't about intensity. It's about clarity. It's about rhythm. It's about removing unnecessary strain, small mornings, clear boundaries, stable routines, intentional pauses, better listening, early communication, careful action, and respect for ordinary life. You don't need to adopt all of them. Even one can change how your day feels. So here's something to think about as you move forward. If productivity isn't about doing more, but about doing things with less resistance, which habit could quietly make your life easier starting this week? That question alone might be worth your attention. Subscribe and comment which habit you'll try first.